well, this might be the last time you guys see the Beetle. Yep, you guys heard that right. The Beetle might be going today. So winter's coming up. This car is not practical. I drive 2 hours a day for work. It's like 112 miles total a day. And this guy is not gonna get me to work in Michigan winter, and I know it. We plan on keeping the Golf. That TDI is staying. I bought this car because I love the TDI. I wanted another one. I technically was looking more of like a Jetta or Passat. Found this bug. It was the same year I jumped on it. Not to say that it was like a bad decision. I don't regret getting it. It's a super fun car, and I'm glad that I've owned one. I buy a lot of cars. I've had a lot of cars, and I've never regretted purchasing any of them. I've definitely had some duds. I've definitely had ones that I'm like, man, this thing sucks. But I've never regretted buying them because I get to learn more and more about each vehicle and each make and model of those vehicles as I own them. So I love this car. I have not had to put hardly anything into it other than tires. It is such a good car. It's very reliable. And I get 40 miles to the gallon. I can't complain. But I live in Muskegon, Michigan, right? So we get like 3 billion inches of snow every year, and I am not gonna be able to get this thing out of my driveway nevertheless. So I'm going to look at a vehicle today. This thing is clean. It is like a vehicle that is near and dear to my heart, and if you know me, you already know where this is going, but it's gonna be way more practical for the winter. It has 4-wheel drive. It's actually lifted off the ground a lot better on all-terrain tires. It is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle, and it is my favorite vehicle on the face of the planet. I'm going to look at that today, and I will bring you guys along for the ride. So, like I said, this might be the last time we see the Beetle. See if we can get a good cold start here this morning. Oh yeah! We agreed that if this trade happens, it happens on a full tank, so last time filling up the Beetle. Oh, she's full. All right, it is time, and we're gonna go meet up with that guy. So now would be a good time to talk about some of the pros and cons of owning a Volkswagen TDI Beetle. Let's start with the pros. It's a fun car to drive. Like, that's overall, when you're looking for a car, don't lie to me. I know you're looking for fuel economy. I know you're looking for practicality. But if it's not a fun car to drive, then it's not enjoyable. This is genuinely a very fun car to drive. It gets up to speed well on the highways, keeps up with other cars. I love the car. It's great. Now on top of that, it does get really good fuel economy being a TDI. It's a great engine. They're super easy to work on. I was like scared out of owning German engineering until I got one, and somebody actually convinced me to get one, being Schmidt. I'm in love with it. We're planning to keep the Golf for sure. We're definitely not getting rid of that car because that is our good fuel economy car. Now, some of the cons you're gonna run into when owning a Volkswagen Beetle is the space. There's just not a whole lot of room, and especially since we have Iris, we have a daughter, if you got her in the back, there's just no room to put stuff at all. Now, we did prove that wrong a little bit on our Tennessee trip. We proved it wrong, but at the same time, we didn't enjoy it. It was very crammed, it was very packed. Now, if there's nobody in the back, you can put the seats down completely flat. There's actually a lot of room back there. It's really nice. But again, that's if it's just you driving. It also sits really low to the ground and has a very narrow wheelbase, which is not gonna be super solid in the winter. Hence my biggest reason for wanting to get another vehicle. This vehicle I'm going to look at will be a beast in the winter. I've owned 3 of them already. and it's four-wheel drive, which the 3 that I've owned were not four-wheel drive, so this is kind of a step up. I'm super excited to see it. I'm definitely gonna wanna look at it very closely and see if it's a worthy trade. The trade values are very similar. The Bug is slightly higher. Just for his security purposes, I'm not gonna film while we're there. I'm gonna film getting there, and I'll probably pick it back up driving it home. So, given that we do the trade. Packed. All right, now we wait. You don't even know how excited I am right now. Like, you don't know how excited I am right now. Well, the garage is a complete mess, so it's about 9 o'clock. The girls are in bed. I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm gonna get the new set of wheels inside of here, and then I'll show it off a little more under the light. All right, so I kind of just did like a really jerry-rigged cleaning job, but I just wanted to get this thing in the light so I could show you. This is a 2000 Chevrolet Blazer, and this thing is as clean as they get. It only has 127,000 miles on its 4.3 liter V6, which is exactly what my other 3 were, just not with only 127,000 miles on it. Mine had over 200. One of them actually was pushing 300. Now, being said, they ran amazingly, even though they looked like absolute junk. My wife will say the Blazer looked like a piece of garbage, and she hated riding in the S10s. Now, this is gonna serve much more than the Beetle would be able to, and even my old S10s and Blazers, because this one's extremely clean, low miles. The wife even said she would drive it, and that's just kind of a win-win for me. The reason that I have such a sentimental value for the S10 or the Blazer is because my very first vehicle was a 2000 S10. Now, they're great vehicles. You sit inside the Blazer and it feels the exact same. It might just be a little higher. It does sit a little higher off the ground. Otherwise, sitting inside of it looks and feels the exact same as driving my very first Chevy S10. Now, it's a little cramped in here, but I still want to be able to show it to you, all right? So this side looks absolutely perfect. There is no rust on the fenders. There is little to no rust even on these rockers, which is crazy to me. There's a little bit starting to show back here. Otherwise, extremely clean. The paint looks good. These tires are pretty beefy and they're gonna serve really well this winter. Moving on to this side, it wouldn't be my vehicle if there wasn't like one little thing that you're like, hey, don't look at that side. That side looks weird. Look at that side because it looks way better. The rest of it does still look really clean. Same thing, the rocker is actually there. It does start to show a little bit of surface rust towards the back, but nothing that I am crazy worried about at all. It does have a nice roof rack on top, which we do have a car top carrier, so that'll come in handy. Again, this paint looks absolutely beautiful. The bumper is in pretty decent condition as well. Usually these are like completely gone or falling off. It does have a little bit of surface rust, but something that we can easily take a flapper disc, get that cleaned off, and just prime it so it doesn't rust anymore. The awesome thing about these is there's so much room in the back. It's got a full tailgate. We do have a full-size spare under there with a brand new tire in it, which is awesome. The previous owner did just put brand new tires on this. Now these seats in the back completely fold down, so it's completely flat and there is a lot of room back here. Now moving inside, this thing is actually very clean. It could use a good wipe down, could use a good vacuuming out, but like I said, it feels the exact same as sitting inside of my S10s. It's got the exact same dash, exact same console in the center. What's awesome is it does have the column shifter. The Blazer that I had did have the center console shifter, which was kind of weird. It didn't really feel like a truck, kind of felt like more like an SUV, which is what it is. It just feels so much more like the S10 having that column shifter. It does have decent back seats. It does have like, they're actually super comfortable. I have ridden in these plenty of times. And yeah, they're super comfortable. There's plenty of room. The only downfall is this is the 2-door. There isn't a 4th door here. So you do have to put the seat forward to get to these back seats, but that was something I was willing to sacrifice for the fact that this is literally my old S10. So there's just a lot of sentimental value to this vehicle. Something totally worth pointing out also is actually how clean this looks underneath here. Now it's still got its surface rust, but this is way better than what any of mine have looked like. And honestly, way better than any of the other ones on the road right now that you would look under. Extremely impressed by that. Now, all that aside, this car does not go without, you know, its bumps and bruises. Now, I do want to try and figure out if we can fix this. We could pull it off and just hammer it out. Or these things are a dime and a dozen. We could probably find another fender easily just to slap on there. The little bit of surface rust that is like on the rockers and stuff, I am definitely going to take a grind or two right away with a flapper disc on it, clean that off, and then probably just spray some primer on it just so it doesn't rust anymore. Something else wrong is the door pins on the driver's side. Now, typically when you close the door, it should close. That's not closed. Door pins are bad. Those bushings are completely shot. We're going to order those pretty much right away. I do think it's going to be needing brakes in the not too long from now future. So we're probably going to be doing those pretty soon. I did get money on top of the trade. So I've got plenty of money to put into parts, whatever I might need, whether it be tune-up, whether it be brakes, the door pins, all that stuff should be able to be covered easily by the money that was put down on top with this trade. So we're kind of sitting pretty good right now. Tomorrow, we're going to come back out here and wash it off, clean out the inside, and we'll kind of show you the Blazer a little bit better. I'm going to bed. Good night. See you in the morning. Okay, so it's the next day, and I need to move that over there. I need to move that over there as well, so I can get the Blazer onto the driveway, just so you can see it. I'm going to save a lot of the things I had planned for another video, because this video is already at this point like 12 minutes long. You already know how beautifully this thing runs, so don't let your expectations be too high. You just gotta do it like 10 times, and it eventually works. Maybe. As I've already made plenty clear, I'm very, very happy about this vehicle. Now, I'm gonna save the cleanup, interior clean, and also a couple other things I got for it for another video. So until then, here's the Blazer. There'll be plenty more videos to come.